Imagine uploading something onto YouTube and knowing almost nobody will ever see it. Every minute, hundreds of hours of video are uploaded to YouTube, and it's impossible for anyone to see all of it. Beneath the trending page, beneath the recommendations, and beneath the polished creators and viral clips, exists an almost invisible side of the platform. A digital wasteland where millions of videos sit forgotten. Most of them are exactly what you'd expect. Family vacations, school projects, test recordings, and random clips that were never meant for an audience. But every now and then, you find something else. Videos with no explanation. Empty buildings filmed in complete silence. Strange broadcasts with cryptic titles, and accounts that upload dozens, sometimes hundreds of nearly identical videos before disappearing entirely. The deeper you search, the stranger it becomes. Because this isn't one isolated mystery, it's a rabbit hole that stretches across millions of uploads buried beneath YouTube's algorithm. Some have perfectly reasonable explanations, others remain unsolved, and a few are unsettling enough to make you question why they were uploaded in the first place. The unsettling part isn't that these videos exist, it's that they've been sitting there for years, dormant, hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone to stumble across them. So today, we're leaving behind the side of YouTube that everyone knows, and descending into the forgotten corners of the platform, where the view counts stop climbing, and every click feels like you've discovered something that you weren't supposed to find.
Kung kawin itu ano to, Kuyang to.
Kuyang kawin.
Ya, kung kawin eh.
Mulai sudah mulai ditangkap sudah.
Menaik kalap ni ko.
Oh, udah kemudian pasoleh sampai mulai ada kap sekolah.
Guminggaw dulu mo pasoleh aw. Usuway niya aw.
Among the countless disturbing videos buried deep within YouTube, few are as strangely unsettling as a clip named Kuyang Dyak. Uploaded with almost no context, the video offers no explanation, no location, and no verified backstory. The footage appears to show a small cage-like enclosure containing what looks to be a figure with long human-like hair, and facial features attached to a much smaller body. At first glance, it almost resembles a woman fused with the body of a small animal, but the video's poor quality makes it impossible to determine exactly what we're looking at. Several men can be heard speaking off camera, though who they are, where they are, and what they're discussing remains unknown. They seem calm, almost casual, a sharp contrast to the bizarre figure in front of them. The title itself references Kuyang, a creature from Southeast Asian folklore. Depending on the region, the Kuyang is described as a supernatural being associated with witchcraft, often appearing as a detached human head with internal organs. The addition of Dyak, or Dayak, may refer to the indigenous people of Borneo, though there's no evidence connecting the video to the genuine folklore or any real event. Without context, the internet has spent years trying to explain the footage. Some believe it's an elaborate prop, others think it's a taxidermy creation, while a few insist it's evidence of something far stranger. None of these claims can ever be verified. Perhaps that's what makes this video so memorable. It's not because we know what we're looking at, it's because we don't. The lack of answers leaves the mind to wonder, often with something far more disturbing than reality. Whether it's an art project, a hoax, or simply an unfortunate animal filmed under bizarre circumstances, the Kuyang Dyak remains one of YouTube's most unsettling mysteries. Not because it's proven to be supernatural, but because its true origin has never been convincingly explained.
Hey, vengan a ver esto, boludo, vengan a ver, boludo, mirá lo que hice, ¿qué es lo que hizo, Mirá, boludo, mirá, boludo, se está preparado, boludo, mirá, vení, pasito, mirá, boludo, ¿qué es lo que hizo, El Luisón, ¿qué es el Luisón? ¿Qué es lo que hizo, Mira, boludo, mira, porque va a venir, aquí, se paró, aquí, hey, vengan, traigan Coti, vamos a traer Coti, vamos nomás acá, vamos,
Hatefinn.mkv Unlike most internet mysteries, there isn't a lengthy wiki page documenting its history. Neither is there an ARG community trying to decode hidden messages, and there isn't a creator who eventually stepped forward to explain it all. In fact, almost everything we know about this file comes from a single eyewitness, posted years after the original video had already disappeared. The lack of information is exactly what has kept the mystery alive. The video itself appears to be deceptively simple. It's low quality, heavily compressed, and only lasts a short time. There are no titles, no credits, no obvious editing tricks, just a camera pointed into the darkness. At first, it's difficult to understand what you're looking at. Resting against the ground is a pitch black shape. It almost blends into its surroundings, making it nearly impossible to distinguish where the creature ends and the darkness begins. For several seconds, nothing happens. Then it moves. The figure slowly rolls from its side before lifting itself onto what appear to be 4 legs. As it turns towards the camera, the only features that become visible are a row of unnaturally wide teeth, and what appears to be the faint reflection of a single eye catching the light. Whether this is an animal, a person in a costume, a practical effect, or something else entirely is almost impossible to determine with the footage alone. The video quality leaves almost everything open to interpretation, but that's precisely what makes it so disturbing. The less detail the camera captures, the more the viewer's imagination fills in for itself. As the creature steadies itself, it slowly begins walking toward whoever is filming. There are no dramatic cuts, no sudden jump scares, and no loud music warning you that something terrifying is about to happen. Just the quiet, deliberate movement of an unidentified figure emerging from the darkness. And then, the footage ends. Normally, a strange video like this would simply become another forgotten upload buried beneath the billions of others. But surrounding Hatefinn.mkv is a story that's arguably even stranger than the footage itself. According to internet rumors, the file wasn't simply an unsettling video. It was allegedly a so-called death file, a piece of digital media that supposedly caused harm to anyone who downloaded or viewed it. Stories like these have circulated online for decades. The most famous example is Smile Dog, a creepypasta describing a cursed image that psychologically torments anyone who sees it. Over the years, similar legends have appeared involving videos, audio recordings, and even computer files claimed to carry supernatural effects. It's important to note that there has never been any credible evidence that Hatefinn.mkv possesses any dangerous properties whatsoever. The idea of it being a death file exists entirely within the internet folklore, passed between anonymous users with no verifiable proof. Yet despite that, the legend continues to spread. What's perhaps even more unsettling is just how little evidence remains that the file ever existed at all. After years of searching, the only widely cited account comes from a Reddit post made over a decade ago in the subreddit r/RBI, a community dedicated to investigating internet mysteries and helping users locate obscure information. In the post, the author explains that sometime around the 2010s or 2011s, they were browsing a Finnish image board when they encountered a bizarre thread discussing strange files. The messages reportedly made very little sense, almost as though they had been poorly translated from another language. Attached to that thread was a compressed archive containing 2 files. One was called Hatefinn.mkv, and the other had an unusual name, Finland_history. Curious, the user downloaded the archive. According to their recollection, the video opened with snowy mountains before cutting to a disturbing black creature lying in the snow. They described it as shaking, almost convulsing, while emitting an unsettling howl. Its appearance left such an impression that years later they compared it to a giant black starfish plastered over a burned monkey, a description as bizarre as the video itself. Eventually, the archive was accidentally deleted. For years afterward, the author searched across websites, archives, and forums hoping to recover the original files. They found nothing. Their frustration became so great that they publicly offered money to anyone who could simply provide a copy of the video. Not even the original archive, just the footage itself. No verified copy was ever produced. That raises an obvious question though. If the story is genuine, where did the file go? Was it simply an obscure video uploaded from a forgotten forum before disappearing forever? Was it a part of an abandoned art project that nobody remembers? Could it have been an early internet hoax whose origins have simply been lost to time? Or has the story itself changed over the years, with memories becoming distorted until facts and fiction became impossible to separate? Unfortunately, we simply just don't know. Unlike many internet mysteries, there was never a dramatic conclusion. No definitive explanation emerged. Just a single eyewitness account, an eerie fragment of footage, and years of speculation built upon both. Whether Hatefinn.mkv is merely a forgotten horror clip, an elaborate fabrication, or a genuine piece of lost internet history remains impossible to say. Even now, more than a decade after it was first mentioned online, no verified origin has ever been discovered. And until someone uncovers the truth, Hatefinn.mkv remains one of the internet's most obscure mysteries. Ylenia in the hallway. At first glance, nothing immediately stands out. The channel consists almost entirely of extremely short videos, most lasting less than a minute. They have cryptic titles, almost no descriptions, and a very little explanation for what you're actually watching. Yet despite their simplicity, nearly every upload leaves the same impression: that you're witnessing fragments of a story without ever being given the full picture. The channel's earliest upload is perhaps one of its most unsettling. Rather than video footage, it displays a still image of a woman whose face has been deliberately blurred beyond recognition. Playing beneath the image is a slowed down piece of music that transforms what would otherwise be an ordinary photograph into something strangely uncomfortable. Nothing moves, nothing happens, but the longer you look, the more unsettling the image becomes. This unsettling style continues throughout almost every upload. The videos aren't short, often poorly lit, and rarely provide enough information for the viewer to understand what's taking place. One video in particular stands out from the rest, known only through its description as Ylenia in the hallway. The footage shows what appears to be a woman alone inside a narrow corridor, repeatedly jumping in place with frantic, almost mechanical movements. Across her face appears to be bright red lipstick, or perhaps makeup, smeared around her mouth, creating an appearance that's both theatrical and deeply unsettling. Whether this is performance art, a stage horror project, or something else entirely, it is impossible to determine from the footage alone. Like many of the channel's videos, there's no explanation. After exploring more of the uploads, another detail begins to emerge. The hallway itself appears more than once. Several videos seem to feature the exact same location from different angles or at different times, suggesting that this wasn't a one-off recording, but a setting that repeatedly appears throughout the channel. Whether the hallway holds any significance or simply happened to be a convenient filming location has never been explained. Much like nothing else to do with this YouTube channel. Another upload caught my attention for a completely different reason. Standing alone in what appears to be a residential driveway is a tall, solitary figure. The person remains almost perfectly still, surrounded by silence. There's nothing overly frightening happening on screen, yet the complete lack of context makes the scene feel strangely ominous. It's another reoccurring theme across the entire channel. Nothing is ever explained. The audience is simply left to draw their own conclusions. Oddly enough, the channel's most viewed upload is also one of its least mysterious. Rather than surreal footage, it consists of only 2 screenshots taken for an audition for a reality television series, Survivor. Why these images were uploaded alongside the channel's other bizarre videos is unknown. Whether they're connected to the rest of the channel or simply unrelated is impossible to say. However, there is one final detail that has led viewers to speculate about the meaning behind the hallway video. The name Ylenia is an Italian feminine name. Whether it refers to the woman seen in the footage, someone known by the uploader, or simply a random title that has never been confirmed. Looking at the channel as a whole, it's difficult to identify any clear narrative. The reoccurring locations, the anonymous people, the distorted imagery, and the complete lack of explanation all create that feeling that you're only seeing isolated pieces of a much larger puzzle. Perhaps it's an experimental horror project. Maybe it's an obscure art channel that never found an audience. Or maybe there's a story hidden somewhere beneath the surface that no one has managed to piece together. Whatever the truth may be, user 9472 continues to upload fragments without context, leaving behind one of YouTube's more unusual and quietly unsettling collections of videos. And until the uploader chooses to explain them, their meaning remains a mystery.